Welcome to the Webby and O'Neill channel. Phil, thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
Been
Phil.
a while.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while. I know you've been missing us, but you're back now.
Back.
Webby?
Yeah, obviously, as we last spoke, Phil, we've had a few signings. Obviously, with being a full-back. Alex Telles, did you see the PSG game? What do you think about his performance?
Well, I thought he was really positive.
Yeah.
Obviously, seen a lot of him at Porto.
Right.
Really attacking fullback. I think when Luke got injured last year, I think it was there was a big hole at left back. You know, and you say, oh, Brandon can play there, etc. But you need someone with a left foot, I think, that gives the team balance. Really positive, really aggressive, likes to get forward. And I think he could be a fantastic signing. I think when you look at price tags as well, it seems quite cheap for someone of that level.
Yeah, I think he had a year left in it, so we've got him that cheap. But what we've seen that against PSG looks comfortable, doesn't it?
Come to on the ball, really,
decent corner taker,
really good deliverer from set plays. I think when you when you think of left footers and they've got that little bit extra guile, particularly on a delivery, I think that gives us an extra edge. So I think it's a really good signing. You know, 2 players for every position. We were probably short at left back in terms of cover, so I think that's a good signing.
He played in a back 5.
Yeah. I
thought he was perfect in the back 5. He got space, he got up there, he wanted to get up there, and with his crosses. But I see a problem because sometimes we play a 4, sometimes we play a 5. Now, you've mentioned Tellers there. I think he's an exciting player. I actually really like him. If we're going to a back 4, you've got Shaw there, haven't you? Ole's got a dilemma.
Shaw plays well in a back 3. Shaw play, you know, it was Shaw and Tellers, wasn't it? So I think Shaw did that last year. Was it against Liverpool, Chelsea, maybe?
Yeah.
So I think Luke plays well in that back 3. So look, I think probably for most of the season we'll probably be playing in a back 4. You think against Leipzig or these other teams, we could be in a back 4. So I think it'd be a horses for courses. I think Tellers has got a big part to play in the season. And I think, like we've seen, I think maybe Luke probably, history will tell you that probably doesn't always get through a full season. So we do need 2 players for every position. And ultimately, if Alex Telles coming in ups Luke Shaw's level, because I'm a big fan of Luke. So we've got 2 really, really good players for that position. If we do play a 5, I think both can play. Yeah. Obviously, if we play a 4, then Ole's got to select the right person. I think it might be that if we need a really advancing, attacking left back, Telles may get the nudge.
Diallo and Pellistri, 2 young players.
Yeah.
But Cavani, very experienced.
Yeah.
Got Van der Beek. People are screaming for him to go in the gate, and he seems to be holding him back. Now, is that because it's a long season, Phil?
Well, I mean, look, I've got to say some of the punditry towards Van der Beek, I think it's an absolute. I think it's a mystery to me, because if you look at City, Aki's not playing for City at the moment in time. You know, sometimes you need time to settle into a football club. I think Jurgen Klopp did it absolutely unbelievably at Liverpool. They bought Oxlade-Chamberlain, didn't play him for probably 2 months. Brought the midfield player from Germany. He brought Minamino's not played. Jota playing in and out. So ultimately, Van der Beek's got to compete with Pogba and Fernandes. That's going to be really difficult. But ultimately, there's a transitional period where he's got to get used to English football. And I think the kid is a good player, but he's got to be better than Fernandes and Pogba. And I think that's the challenge of buying some people in, is that there's a real competition for places. And where I think Cavani's different than Falcao. I think when we signed Falcao, everyone knew it was probably just going to be, it was someone just to probably fill a hole, signature signing, but probably who'd had his best time because of injuries. Cavani's not finished. Cavani's a goal scorer. I think he's at a totally different level than Falcao. Cavani will score goals. United have got to feed him. I think with Fernandes and Pogba and Van der Beek, I think we've got players now that can feed him. And I think that's a real... You talk about world-class signings or world-class centre-forwards, Cavani's a world-class centre-forward.
And the youngsters is the policy Solskjaer's looking at now.
Yeah, and he'll give them a chance. I saw Pellistri play for the under-23s, I think it was. They will get opportunities if they're good enough. But there is a development there. There's probably 12 months away from these kids playing. But I think when you've seen with Mason, with Brandon, if they're good enough, they'll get in. And that's what they've got to do. They've got to raise the level to be good enough. But I think in terms of the signings, I think we've made some good signings.
Right, Phil, you had an England game, women's game cancelled recently.
We had a COVID case within the camp. We're obviously going to a foreign country. You want to make sure that everybody's safe. We've got at the weekend, we've got the Women's FA Cup final. I think we had 15, 16 players in the party that could be involved in that. We have to make sure that everybody's safe. And I think we're living in a world where we want to revert back to normality, but at the moment we can't do that. So first and foremost, I think we made the correct decision of making sure that actually it wasn't essential that we went abroad, and we had to protect and make sure that all the travelling party, from the staff to the players, were safe. And unfortunately, in the times that we live in, you see many games getting cancelled now. And I think as we go past, with the way that the pandemic's continuing to grow, it's going to keep happening, and we've got to make sure that everybody's safe, and that football, actually, yes, it is one of the most important things in our lives, but it's not important than people's health.
I'm surprised that there's not been a Premiership game.
Yeah.
What's been cancelled, where somebody's turning up to the ground before kick-off as a test and the game goes now. No disrespect to the lower leagues, but that's going to be a big impact if it happens in a Premiership game.
Yeah, I think probably the difference in the Premier League, couple of things, is that the testing protocols are unbelievable. I think we have had times this season when I think Liverpool did have Thiago miss a game through and Mane miss a game through coronavirus. So, but because of the sizes of the squads, and because really the pressure to keep playing these Premier League games and the schedule's so tight, I think a game cancelled now would be a disaster for the schedules. And the squads are that big now that I think Premier League clubs can handle one or two. I think when you get down to the lower leagues, I think when you have 4, 5, 6 players out through positive tests, I think it's very difficult. And you know, it's a horrible time we're living in. Yeah. Life seems a little bit difficult at this moment in time.
Seems like we're in a film. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Every morning I wake up within a film.
It doesn't feel at the moment as if we're going to wake up at this moment in time. It feels as if we've got this for the foreseeable future.
Does the games in the Premier League sort of mirror the strangeness of what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Everyday life, the bubble. I see it like as creating a mental fatigue on some of these players, where the instructions what are happening, and there's some games there where it's just like attack,
yeah,
and they're not listening to instructions. I think this virus is actually making it so strange. You can't predict anything.
It's not a nice time, and being a footballer, I'd say that I don't think the players are enjoying it. I don't think the managers definitely aren't enjoying it. I've just been away on a camp, and it's very, very difficult. When you think about football, you think about the fans, you think about happiness, you think about excitement. I actually don't think, even though we're seeing some good games, the players aren't experiencing that feeling. The fans definitely not. You turn on a football game, and I know you've got the fake noise in the background, but there's nothing like hearing fans chanting, fans booing, moaning or whatever. Yeah. And I don't think anybody's enjoying it, but I think what footballers and the managers need to take credit for is that they are putting themselves out where they're getting on with it in incredibly tough times. And the sooner we get fans back in those stadiums, the better. As long as it's safe, I think that would be, because I think you think about the bubbles, players are literally going to training, coming off, going home and living the life like that, which is the right thing to do. But football is about excitement, about happiness, about challenge, about the atmospheres, about supporters. And at the moment, we've not got that.
Before season started, we met, and you was very positive on United and what was going on. How are you seeing it now, positive wise? Or
look, I think obviously the start was difficult, but I think that's because United had only had probably a 10-day period of rest. But it looks like this season it could be anyone's league. And I'm thinking Everton are up there, Villa, Leeds, everyone. It looks like going to be one of those seasons. I go back to the Leicester season. It was Leicester plus the chasing pack. It looks like there's 5 or 6 teams at this moment in time who could all beat each other, who could all spring a surprise. You think about the freak results we've had. I mean, from a point of view of a supporter, it would be unbelievable if we had this type of season where everyone was beating each other and we saw freak results and we saw freak performances. I think it would make it probably one of the most open, which gives you confidence. Everyone thought at the start of the season, you had to beat Liverpool, you had to beat Man City. Finish above them two and you would win the league. Now, I think what we've seen in the first probably month of the season is that Liverpool and City don't look as invincible as what they have done in the past. And that's because of the circumstances, yes, but that's give everybody else, particularly United fans, hope that actually if United play well and they get on a run of consistent performances and the players deliver, this could be United's year.
Do you think this year, with the circumstances and that, pressure's always on the manager of Manchester United? Does Ole need a trophy this year? And I think it's going to be difficult, but I do believe he's got a chance of one with this squad. With the circumstances, Ole, should he get a trophy this year?
Look, I think he's the best man for the job, and I think he's got a great squad. I think he's got a squad that can compete. And he said it a number of times that at Manchester United you have to win. That's what being a Manchester United manager, player, director, owner, supporter. I think as a supporter we demand that we have to win. Finishing second, third, fourth, fifth for us is failure. That's the way that I see it. And I think if anyone else starts celebrating finishing third, fourth, fifth, I think we've dropped our standards, and Ole's not got them standards. He wants to win, and he will see his success based on what he delivers, and that means winning trophies. And I think with the league that we've got at this moment in time, it's there to be won.
Let us know what you think. Give us your comments. Press the like button, and please subscribe. And thank you very much, Phil. It's been an absolute pleasure again.
Thank you.
Thank you.